Hey, y'all. I think I'm going to start us off with the idea that adulting is hard. No matter your age, at least that's what they told us, right? It is a common misconception that when you leave home at 18, you are officially an adult. You should know your purpose, have a plan, and execute it seamlessly. That if you follow a linear trajectory, everything will work out. But I am here to tell you that that is not only untrue, it is utterly absurd because what adulting is difficult. Let me take you back to my first semester of undergrad. I was 17 and confident that I was going to be a medical doctor. Hi, my name is Dr. La-Toya Scott, but I am no medical doctor. But today, I am going to walk you through the power in the pivot, and I'm going to show you how pivoting can work for you and how you can take your setbacks and turn them into steps forward. Now, if I had not failed Chem 1 3 consecutive times, I would have been that medical doctor. But when I met up with my academic advisor with a look that needed little to no explanation, she all but said, "Girl, bless your heart. But this isn't it either. You need to get your life together." You see, I used to be so embarrassed about that conversation, but today, I realized it set me on a pattern that changed my life, and that was the power in the pivot. So, I pivoted, and I pivoted, and I pivoted again. In all, I changed my major about 5 times. I went from biological sciences to dietetics to criminology to business, and then finally English. Now, what could all these pivots possibly teach me? Well, they showed me that failure isn't fatal, it's feedback. And for you, that means that every F or every closed door is not the end, it's redirection. Within 2 days of graduating undergrad, I began law school. I was gonna be a lawyer, okay? But 1 year after that, I left. I was academically dismissed because of the crushing weight of depression. Now, what could this pivot possibly teach me? It taught me that letting go takes courage. And for you, it may mean when you realize that something is crushing your spirit, that letting go may not be a sign of weakness, but it can actually be a strength. Within 1 month after that, I applied to and started culinary art school. I was going to be a chef, y'all. Because, well, why not? I could already cook. Shout out to my Jamaican roots. But my parents, however, were not only disappointed, they were a little bit bewildered. My mom, "So you want to be a chef? You want to be a cook?" "Chef, Mom. So you want to be a cook? Pots and pans are in the kitchen, so go cook there." Okay. I worked so hard. During the day, I cooked in my culinary arts classes, and by night, I worked in a 5-star French-led restaurant. And everything was going great until it wasn't. What was once a passion became an unrelenting chore. I truly felt like I was in the episode of The Bear. Anybody watch The Bear? Oh yes, those chaotic, high-pressured kitchen where emotions are just running high and everything is just all over the place, that was me. And it wasn't until I was sitting in the fridge of the walk-in restaurant, right? And I was eating my way through $50 worth of hors d'oeuvres and desserts that I realized this may not be it either. So I left. I walked away, and within 2 days, I sat down with the head chef to collect my last paycheck. He looked at me and he said, La-Toya, you were getting better. You were going to be great. Excuse my really bad French accent. And I looked at him and I thought, yes, but at the expense of being happy? What did I learn from this pivot? It was at that point that I learned that success at the price of joy is just survival. And for you, that may mean realizing that when something is crushing your spirit, that it is not worth chasing some version of success. So at this point, with all the pivots, I started to realize that there was a pattern. But I also started to notice that one thing remained consistent, and that was my love of reading, especially about Black people and especially about Black women. In fact, I remember I took one single Black female literary course in college, and I returned to those books even within my pivots. One book in particular stood out to me. So as the world began to change, I got to those books, and they informed me about the world, and they gave me a language about myself and my identity in the world that I was in. The book that stood out to me was by Dr. David Eichert. That book led me to him. And I'm being really, that book led me to him. I Googled him, I found out he was a professor in my city, and I called him. Now, would I recommend doing this today? Let's just say it toes the line between curiosity and a restraining order, but luckily, he listened. And he actually invited me to sit in on his first ever Black Lives Matter course at the University of Miami. He was not only a professor, but he was also the chair of the African Studies department. And I remember sitting in on the first day of his course, it changed me. He talked about Black bodies and how it navigated throughout the world. He spoke about the violence and the humanity. He pulled from voices like James Baldwin in order to show how literature could teach us about survival and resilience. Eventually, I became his mentee, and he challenged me to think critically. He taught me how to write, how to research. He taught me how to connect my ideas to community. And eventually, I did apply for my master's and then for my PhD, both of which were tuition fully funded. And now, standing before you, I am a tenure-track professor. Yeah. But what did all these pivots teach me? Well, they showed me that sometimes direction comes from unexpected conversations and people. And for you, that means remaining open, because you never know what conversation, what book, or what mentor might change the trajectory of your life. And why does this matter? Well, it matters because I didn't get here by following a straight line. I got here from pivoting. And pivoting allowed me to see my purpose. My purpose is to help people, but not as a medical doctor, not as a lawyer, and not even as a chef. My purpose is to connect academia to community. And why does this matter? This matters because it showed me that purpose isn't found from a perfect path. It's found from experimenting, it's found from exploring, and it's found from seeing what doors open, okay? Now, if there's one thing that I had wished I had known sooner, it's this: pivot. When things seem to be falling apart, stop, take a step back, and ask yourself, well, what can I salvage, and what do I need to leave behind? Because passion, it's beautiful, but stubbornness is so costly. So when my students come to me overwhelmed or, like me, in between majors, or feeling like they're being left behind, I tell them this: you are not behind, you are becoming. And that requires movement, that requires missteps, that requires pivots. And pivoting isn't only about choosing a new path, It's about having the courage to choose a new path, even at the expense of things may not ending up the way you thought. So, at least you'll know what doors open, what works, and what doesn't. Now, if you are in the middle of a pivot, or even at the edge of one, know this. You are not lost, you're gathering. You are not broken, you're building. You're not failing, you're forming. And you don't need to know exactly where you are going to choose to keep moving forward. You just have to be open to turning when life invites you to pivot. Thank you.